Oh my, this game is so stupid. Oh my lord. That's it. I'm done with this game. I'm uninstalling it and buying a new game. That's just what it's going to come down to, because I just can't handle it anymore. It's just too much. How much do these games cost? $60. That's actually not too bad. If it was any more, I probably wouldn't buy it, but $60 I can deal with that.
So the theory that we're talking about is elasticity of demand. Basically, what that means is that if price goes up or down, people won't buy the product. So this is price. For our example, video games, price is set at 60. That's just like an estimate of the market. No markets are perfectly elastic, so the line will be about this. If it was perfectly elastic, it would be about straight across. And then this is our supply line. Basically, for video games, we did like 100,000. People would buy it at 60, but once it goes up, people won't buy these video games, let's say if it's at 70, because they'd rather just have the games that are $60, and then the producers can't afford to drop their prices any lower, because then it would affect the competition in the market. As you can see from the photos, the price of most video games, excluding games with expansion packs, is $60 across producers, for example Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. $60 doesn't seem too expensive for a video game, right? The price of video games has remained relatively constant, or elastic, for over 30 years, as seen in the graphs. Why hasn't the price increased? The price of video games has not increased over the last 30 years for multiple reasons. According to Forbes, the main reason the price of video games hasn't increased is because they believe that a higher price would scare away players. This is because of customer expectations and connects back to elasticity of demand. People are just not willing to spend more than the $60 they are used to for a base game. If they had to spend more, they would expect more from the game itself. Even though the price has remained relatively constant, the price of producing the games and new technology has risen. To make up this difference, video game producers have made it so other purchases can be made within the game itself. For example, battle passes are available in the game Fortnite, and loot crates are available for purchase in the game Hearthstone. If you factor in the in-game purchase prices with the $60 price of the original game, it makes the game far more expensive. So why $60? It's not just a random amount. What most people don't realize about the price of video games and other goods is that the full amount doesn't go right back to the producer. That means that when deciding on a price, they have to subtract the cost of production as well as the amount that will be taken out for things like royalty rights. We have provided a pie chart from the LA Times that shows how the price is broken up. As you can see, they have a retail margin of $15, a $7 margin for returns, distribution and the cost of the goods take approximately $4, and platform royalty has a margin of $7. This leaves a profit margin of $27 for the producers. If you factor in the in-game purchases with the sheer amount of video games bought every year, it can be understood that video game producers have a much larger total profit margin. And because they have such a large profit margin, it makes sense why they would leave the price of video games at $60, which is not only comfortable to them profit-wise, but comfortable to the consumer. In conclusion, the video game market will probably remain relatively elastic in the coming years, so long as the video game producers are making an adequate profit. If the cost of production, and the other expenses involved in selling video games, overtakes the profit margin, the cost of video games across the market can be expected to increase.